All right, let's jump right into this explainer. If you're looking to launch your next big venture, and maybe you've got an established business ready for its next chapter, you probably know the feeling. You've got the vision, right? But getting from the whiteboard to the real world, well, that's where things get messy. You have plenty of business ideas, but you kind of feel stuck without a deliberate path from concept to execution.
It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? I mean, you've got these great concepts, true game changers for your business, but you lack a structured process to make them a reality. So often, we see businesses scatter their energy, trying to do literally everything at once. They just grab at quick solutions instead of building a common path that actually aligns with their long-term goals.
Now think about the pelican. It isn't just an iconic bird on the Gulf Coast, it's actually the absolute perfect metaphor for focused, intentional business execution. Think about it. A pelican doesn't waste energy, it doesn't just flail around out there. It's the Gulf Coast's most deliberate hunter. It observes its environment, adapts to the conditions, and when it finally moves, it commits completely.
So let's contrast how most businesses operate with how they really should operate. We all know the undocumented, messy process, right? Rushing, constantly reacting to the next task, and chasing every single shiny opportunity that crosses your desk. Well, the Pelican Method flips that entirely. It's a proven, 6-stage framework created by Gulf Coast Concepts that forces you to slow down, observe, adapt, and only then commit completely.
Our flight path today covers 5 main steps. First, finding your flight path. Second, observe, which means to perch and soar. Third, lock, choosing your target. Fourth, dive, executing for results. And finally, 5, evolve, catch and flock.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, finding your flight path and moving from concept to execution.
You know, the strongest businesses out there, they aren't built by chance, they aren't built by sheer luck, or by just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. No way. They rely on intense observation, incredibly thoughtful planning, and really decisive action. Basically, every great business follows a clear flight path that guides absolutely every single decision they make.
The crucial takeaway here is that this framework transforms those random creative tasks, like suddenly deciding you need a new website or rushing a quick rebrand, into focused, intentional growth. Gulf Coast Concepts actually describes themselves as a creative execution company because they don't just hand you a quick design and walk away. They partner with you to give your ideas a common, deliberate path from the initial concept all the way to full-scale execution.
Moving right along to Section 2, observe, perch, and soar, and gaining perspective. Think about this. Before a pelican catches a fish, or honestly, before you launch a major marketing campaign, you absolutely must gather perspective first. You have to perch, which means understanding the immediate environment before acting, and then soar, to rise above and view the entire landscape.
During that perch phase, which is step 1, you've got to ask the hard questions about your audience and your challenges. You really need to listen closely. What makes your business different? Who are you genuinely trying to reach? And what hidden obstacles are standing in your way? You have to remember that understanding the environment, gaining that true perspective, always precedes progress. If you skip this part, you are literally flying blind.
Once you've perched and understood the details, you move to step 2, which is soar. Stepping back allows you to see the bigger picture. You get to see exactly how your brand, your operations, your customer experience, and your long-term vision all interlock. Because honestly, the best ideas rarely come from looking at just one isolated piece of the puzzle. They come from seeing how the whole coastline connects.
All right, on to Section 3, lock, choosing your target and focusing on what matters most.
So here are some concrete tips for locking on to your target. First off, you have to acknowledge a very simple truth. You have way more ideas than time. The challenge isn't finding opportunities. The real challenge is choosing them. You've got to stop chasing every single option that looks shiny and start choosing deliberately. Identify that single project or priority that's going to yield the absolute greatest business impact.
I want to just pause for a second and let this thought sink in. Clear focus creates confident decisions. Success begins with choosing the right target. That right there is the absolute core of the lock phase. If you've ever felt decision fatigue as a business owner, well, it's highly likely because you haven't locked onto a single high-impact target yet. Next up is Section 4, dive, executing for results and turning ideas into reality.
This is where things get exciting.
It's a bold shift that signals ideas only create real value when they become actual, purposeful action. Up until now, everything has been strategy and planning. But, as we all know, strategy without execution is really just a nice theory. The dive phase is where strategy actually becomes execution. It's where we get to work.
When we talk about concrete business results generated during this dive phase, we're talking about real purpose. For example, you aren't just buying a website or digital presence, you're executing the launch of a new venture. You aren't just getting brand design, you're strengthening your business identity to stand out in a crowded market. Marketing and content isn't just noise, it's about reaching the right audience. And apparel or signage, that's about creating tangible touchpoints. Every single creative deliverable is tied directly to a real execution purpose.
I really want to emphasize this. Execution is where ideas become real. Whether it's a website, apparel, signage, or product development, the Pelican's Dive is all about committing completely with absolute confidence and precision. When you dive, you don't hesitate. You've observed the market, you've locked your target, and now you execute flawlessly to transform your creative strategy into undeniable business results. And finally, Section 5. Evolve. Catch and flock. Measuring and continuing growth. Just like a pelican catches its prey securely in its pouch and then flocks with others to thrive, you've got to do the same with your business data. Step 5 is catch. Measure the results to learn what actually worked. And then Step 6 is flock. Keep growing by continuing to adapt and build long-term partnerships. That is exactly how you ensure the project you just launched serves your business for years to come.
During this catch phase, you absolutely must hold yourself and your partners accountable. Ask yourself these crucial, data-driven questions to guarantee your investment actually produced meaningful results. Did the website generate new leads? Did the marketing actually reach the right audience? Did the brand strengthen the business? And did the project move you closer to your goals? You have to measure your success to understand where your very next opportunity is hiding.
And that brings us to the flock phase, Step 6. This reminds us that markets and technology are constantly changing. Your customers change, new opportunities pop up literally every single day. Growth happens when businesses continue learning, improving, and adapting. This framework isn't about some one-and-done project, it's about building a continuous cycle of evolution alongside a long-term partner.
I think this thought sums up the entire Pelican Method philosophy beautifully. Great ideas deserve more than quick solutions. They deserve a clear flight path. It's a powerful reminder to value long-term strategy over short-term fixes. You pour your heart and soul into your business ideas. Don't shortchange them with a rushed, messy execution. They truly deserve that clear flight path from the moment of conception all the way through to measurable growth. So I'll leave you with this final question. Are you ready to follow the flight path? If you're tired of scattering your efforts and having these amazing ideas that never quite land the way you hoped, well, it might be time to change your approach. Stop reacting, start observing, and lock onto your target. It's time to start your own deliberate journey to success. All right.